Okay, I'm here to do math problems.
Yeah, math and science. I'm good with that.
I just doodle.
Okay. You have math and science. Alex, you got history and politics, and I've got the Bible.
I just realized that.
Amen.
All right, people, I think we're going to get going here. That seems to be the general consensus, so let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Here we go. We're ready, right? Okay. Welcome to Academic Challenge. My name is Jim Gifford, your host and moderator, and today we feature teams from Lakeshore and Bangor. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from Berrien and Van Buren counties, and is sponsored by Waterville Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. We are in the quarterfinals of our single elimination tournament here at the end of the season. We'll meet the teams first, and let's start with Bangor. Step up to the microphones individually and tell us who you are, what grade you're in.
Zeppelin, senior, and also captain.
Anders, sophomore.
Brittany, freshman.
Alonzo, sophomore.
Welcome one and all. Zeppelin, your coach is?
Mr. Devers.
And he's right behind.
And he's right behind you,
yeah, so
staring down.
just, don't forget that during the competition. And from Lakeshore?
I'm Anna Haynes, and I'm a senior.
Connor Ashley, senior.
Alec Brown, senior.
Mara, senior.
Holy mackerel, the seniors have it here. And you have a substitute coach tonight, I understand, somewhere in the building?
Yeah, we have Miss Elena Kenny with us. She just
stuck in behind me. All right. Well, welcome one and all. Here are the basic rules. In the first and second halves, we announce the value of each question before it is asked. You will have 10 seconds to answer, 15 if it's a math question. When you press your button, please wait to be recognized. No consultation allowed. There will be some of that in the 60-second round, but that's coming up later. I'll be scorekeeping and judging, and also judging tonight and reading the questions for you, the one, the only, Bill Klein. Is everybody ready? Oh, let's get started with the first half of the Academic Challenge between Lakeshore and Bangor. Bill?
For 5 points, in Britain, they're called trams. What are they called in America?
Alonzo, Bangor.
Trolleys.
That's a correct answer.
All right.
I would have accepted streetcars or subways. So, 5 points. For 15 points, there's 2 answers required for this question. Inspector Javert pursues Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. Inspector Porfiry Petrovich pursues which character in which novel?
Time.
The novel is Crime and Punishment, and the character is Raskolnikov. For 15 points, many coastal animals have cycles linked to the tides. Plankton generally don't have such rhythms. The only exception is in the estuaries, where tides cause an inflow of seawater and a chemical change. What mineral does seawater significantly add to affect the plankton?
Murder, Lakeshore.
Sodium.
That's a correct answer. Salt,
correct.
which is sodium. Well, you get 14 and a half points for that. No, you get the whole 50. For 5 points, how do you spell penitentiary?
Anders, Bangor.
Penitentiary.
That is correct for 5 points. For 20 points, believing variation should be the only constant quality of his music, what Austrian composer moved from a strictly romantic musical interpretation to one involving the 12-tone scale?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Mozart.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Bach.
Arnold Schoenberg. God, you listen to him today. For 20 points, Girolamo Saccheri, Nicholas Lobachevsky, and Bernard Riemann all contributed to the development of what branch of geometry?
Alonzo, Bangor.
Trigonometry.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. Myrna?
Proofs.
Whoops, I don't think was the correct answer.
We're done.
It was non-Euclidean. Now you might want to get your pencils out for this one. For 10 points, pair the following book titles with the characters described in the titles. The titles: The Merchant of Venice, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Dame, The Count of Monte Cristo. The characters are Antonio, Edmond Dantes, and Quasimodo.
Alonzo, Bangor.
Antonio is merchant. Notre Dame is Quasimodo, and Cristo is Edmund.
That's correct for 10 points. For 5 points, this is another math question. If a plumber charges $18 an hour for his work, how much would he charge for a job that took him 1 3/4 hours to finish?
Myrna, Lakeshore.
78.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Anders?
25.
$31.50. For 5 points, the eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. On what date did Dwight Eisenhower say that?
Alonzo, Bangor.
D-Day.
We want the specific date.
I don't know.
Myrna, Lakeshore.
June 6th, 1940.
Close. Oh, June 6, 1944. Which was D-Day. For 5 points, variation in local magnetism and electrical conductivity of rock, releases of radar and gas, and changes in animal behavior and water levels in wells are factors known to presage what natural event?
Alonzo, Bangor.
Earthquakes.
That's correct for 5 points. For 5 points, name the Irish-born cook for some of the well-to-do families in New York, many of whom she killed by spreading a disease.
Time.
Typhoid Mary, or Mary Mallon. For 10 points, what is the title of the first story by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which introduced Sherlock Holmes to the world?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
Sherlock Holmes.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. Anna?
Sherlock Holmes and the Baskerville Hounds.
Incorrect. A Study in Scarlet. For 5 points, when Odysseus and his men faced the challenge of sailing past the islands where the sirens were, he was given some good and very practical advice on how to prevent his men from succumbing to the sirens' calls. What was Odysseus' advice to his men?
Alec, Lakeshore.
Put wax in their ears.
That is correct for 5 points. Works today, too. For 5 points, in October 1795, his whiff of grape shot cleared the streets of Paris and also cleared the way for the Directory to come to power. After his military success made him a natural hero, he abolished the power of the Directory. Who was he?
Alec, Lakeshore.
Napoleon.
That is correct for 5 points. A math question for 15 points. A mother is 7 times as old as her daughter. 5 years from now, she will be only 4 times as old as her daughter. How old are the mother and daughter today?
Time.
I don't know how you ever figured. The mother is 35 and the daughter is 5. For 20 points, how is the home of the United States Marine Corps connected with piracy?
Connor, Lakeshore.
The Barbary Wars. With Tripoli.
Correct
Yes,
answer.
that
You
is
got
correct
the,
answer.
Yeah,
Yep.
the point where is the Barbary.
Yep.
Okay, 20 points for Lakeshore. Okay.
Next question is the final question of the first half already.
For 10 points, which one of Newton's laws of motion makes the thrust of an airplane possible?
Alec, Lakeshore.
Newton's third law.
That's correct for 10 points.
That's well, that's funny, but good for you. All right, that is the end of the first half of today's academic challenge. We'll be back with the score and the 62nd round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Through the table. I just want to let you know.
Why didn't you answer it, Connor?
That was the second time you buzzed in.
Thanks.
Leftovers. Guys.
So where? I guess where?
Yeah, where?
I don't know.
Where?
Lonzo.
Yeah, I'm about to
No,
go.
no, no.
I feel like I want to be left.
Wait, like
I
where?
feel like where
Squares and
and
faces,
or
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
like,
like probably
yeah.
Where?
I wonder if we're down.
It's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe like 15
It's so
or 20
funny. You
points
never know
would
what
have
they
gotten like spot on. So
What?
We're gonna switch in after the
I
16.
don't know. I'm up for anything. It's up to you guys.
Where? I feel like when
I'm not good with it.
That's
That's
what okay, so
We're not
where
half
would
hours.
be pretty
You wanna set it for
straightforward.
So where?
Where? Yeah,
We'll
just
do
go
where.
where.
Gotcha.
Don't
We're
ask
gonna,
that.
you can go fall asleep back there.
I feel like leftovers is gonna be my arm.
You're so close to it.
Just 4 years old.
I knew that too. I knew that, Alonzo.
Where could be
I
anything? Where could be
almost
a building? Where
had
could be a
it.
body?
Like,
Where
I
could be
was
You were
confused.
close. You were close.
I was confused.
The
with
city.
44.
Where
We
could
weren't
be
even in
anything?
the Pearl Harbor didn't even happen.
He's overthinking
Not
it.
really.
Overthinking it.
Not really.
Yeah, that would have been weird to attack
Hey,
the shores of
She did
of
try.
France before the.
She took
before
a
we were
good
attacked
shot at
Pearl
it.
Harbor.
You were at least in the right decade.
Who knows?
I was.
You're good? All right.
I remember like the band.
All right, people, here we go.
Maybe they might choose one to.
At the end of the first half, the score, Lakeshore 55, Bangor 25, and we move on to the 62nd round. Teams, you have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 as you can. Each is worth 10 points, and there's a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 within the time limit. You are encouraged to consult with one another at this point. Answers, though, must come from the team captain. You may and probably should pass on a question you do not know the answer to. And after the minute's up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions you missed, passed on, or did not get to. And Bangor, you're trailing at the moment. You'll have first choice of these categories, and they are leftovers, when, or where. And what is your choice, please?
Where?
They're going with where. And does this need any kind of a setup there,
Yes,
Mr. Klein?
just one little short one. I'll give you a popular name for a region, and you tell me where it is.
Well, that seems pretty straightforward. 60 seconds on the clock, and here we go.
The prairie.
The plains.
Incorrect. The steppes.
China.
Incorrect. The veldt.
Pass.
Lapland.
Pass.
Pampas.
Pompeii.
Incorrect. The outback.
Australia.
Correct. The Klondike.
Alaska.
Correct. The doldrums.
Italy.
Incorrect. The Aquitaine.
Cuba.
Incorrect. The Lake District.
Michigan.
Incorrect.
2 correct.
Time to go.
Okay.
You can go back to the Velt. Oh,
Try it again.
Russia.
incorrect.
2 correct for 20 points for Bangor. We'll reset the clock back to 60 and turn the category over to Lakeshore.
And it says I'll give you the popular name for a region, and you tell me where it is.
Answers are coming from Anna. And Lakeshore, you ready? Here we go.
The Velt.
Pass.
Well, there's no passing in this
Oh,
round.
German.
Germany.
Incorrect. The Prairie.
The Great Plains. Or the Midwest.
Yeah, that's
That general
Well, but
area.
the Bangor said the plains.
The
So I'm
Great
gonna have to
Plains.
say no.
The Midwest.
All right.
Let's get the middle of the United States. Is the answer we were looking for.
Oh.
The Steppes.
Russia.
That's correct. Lapland.
Scandinavia.
That's correct. The Pampas.
Argentina.
Correct. The doldrums.
Atlantic Ocean.
Correct. The Aquitaine.
That's what I was thinking. Italy.
France. The Lake District.
Minnesota.
England.
I have 4 correct there for 40 points for Lakeshore. And we'll go on. We'll stay with Lakeshore and go back to the categories that remain. And they are when or leftovers. What do we like?
We'll go with leftovers.
Going with leftovers.
Elimination, why not?
All right. Need a setup there? Mr.
No,
Klein?
no setup for this one.
No setup for this one. 60 seconds on the clock. Lakeshore, are you ready? Here we go.
It's the most common form of pure carbon found in meteorites and the least common on Earth itself.
Carbon-12.
Incorrect. What is the title of the person whose responsibility is to transcribe the testimony and proceedings in a trial?
The scribe.
That's correct. Court reporter or scribe. When combined, the postal abbreviations of what 2 states form the word wide?
Wisconsin and Delaware.
Correct. The aardvark is native of which continent?
South America.
Incorrect. Mercredi is which day of the week in Esperanto?
Wednesday.
Correct. About 25% of the U.S. oat crop winds up at the grocery. Most of the rest is used for what?
Animal feed.
That's correct, fodder.
Go ahead.
Page on the Choir set this holiday to fall about midway between July 4th and Thanksgiving.
Labor Day.
That's correct.
Total of 5 correct for 50 more points. Reset the clock, turn the category over to Bangor for the ones missed, passed on, or not yet gotten to. Bangor, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
It's the most common form of pure carbon found in meteorites and the least common on Earth itself.
Silicon.
It's a diamond.
Oh.
The aardvark is native of which continent?
Australia.
Africa. Over 3/4 of Oregon's electrical power is produced by what type of power plant?
Wind farms.
Incorrect. It's hydroelectric. In It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, angels were bending near the earth to touch what?
The water.
Harps of gold. Which bedtime prayer appeared in the 1784 New England Primer?
We don't know.
You still do it today. Now I lay me down to sleep.
That wraps up the category, correct?
Yes.
I got a 0 there. No additional points, but that does wrap up the 60-second round.
Those were a bear.
Those were a bear, yeah.
And the hardest one is the one you didn't pick.
That ends the 60-second round. We'll check the scores and conclude the game next here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Oh, dear. All right.
All right, we got somebody popping in down there.
Oh, they're right by the water. Hi, Mirroring. No, you're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
One more? Oh, we got a late entry.
The Rembrandt.
I'm sorry. I have to do it. I'll talk to Lonzo later. Force is strong with that one. Force is strong with that one. It's not unnecessary. It's funny and you know it.
All right, then.
Not if he doesn't hear me.
Ready? All right, people. Yeah, I forgot to add up the scores. What a moron.
Good morning, Vietnam. We 24. Lakeshore didn't get any. We got 100 each.
All right, here we go. The score at the end of the 62nd round, Lakeshore 145, Bangor 45. And it's time now to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools. Let's start with Lakeshore, and here is Anna.
All right, greetings from Lakeshore High School. We'd like to congratulate both of our boys and girls basketball teams for their successful seasons. The guys finished 18-3, and the girls finished 18-4. So great job to them. Noah Hanau, Tony Williams, and Austin Franco went to the state wrestling tournament. Congrats on a great season to all wrestlers, as well as to these three for their amazing individual accomplishments. This weekend, the Lakeshore Drama Department presents 12 Angry Jurors in the upstairs LHS Little Theater. Everybody is welcome to experience this exciting dramatic production. Our Science Olympiad team also just won first place today and qualified for the state competition. And then Connor here was chosen to be our Winterfest King, and also congratulations to Carly Dubert for being our Winterfest Queen.
Very nice. Thank you, Lakeshore. Bangor.
That's why we're wearing
Zeppelin.
shorts.
Greetings from nope. Yeah. Greetings from Bangor High School. Spring is here, and the ACTs are thankfully over. Thanks to the high school staff who came into school early last Tuesday morning to prepare a healthy breakfast for the juniors before testing began. Thanks also to the junior advisory teachers for the hard work they put into preparation for the test. Today, the high school band went to MSBOA Festival and earned Division I ratings. Way to go, man. Our competitive cheer team Our Viking competitive cheer team are back district champions. They competed at district finals this past Saturday at Bronson and brought home the title. Coach Margaret Stockton was also voted District Coach of the Year. Last night was a tough night for our varsity basketball team, losing in districts to the Kalamazoo Hackett after a supreme effort. Congratulations to the 3 boys basketball players, 4 girls players, and 4 wrestlers who were named all conference. Wrestlers Sarah Lewis and Devin Coastal earned all-state honors at state wrestling finals at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Devin was placed 4th and Savion was placed 8th, ending his career with 152 victories. Thanks to WSJM and all sponsors of the Academic Challenge for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Zeppelin. We've got a couple of subs here in the third chair for Lakeshore. We have
Zane.
And Senior. And in the
Junior.
fourth, Junior. All right. And in the fourth chair,
David, Senior.
welcome, gentlemen. Let's begin the second half of today's academic challenge between Lakeshore High School and Bangor High School. And Bill, whenever you are at the ready.
For 15 points, during the Vietnam War, hundreds of draft resistors fled to what European country?
Connor, Lakeshore.
United Kingdom.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Switzerland.
Incorrect. Sweden. For 5 points, geographers say that it's located on the roof of the world. The government was rooted in the country's religion. It was effectively controlled by an outside power after 1951. What is the country?
David, Lakeshore.
Greenland.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Iceland.
Tibet. For 10 points, numerous fissionable isotopes can be synthesized in the lab, but only one is found naturally in any significant amounts on Earth, and it has 713 million year half-life. I'm talking about what isotope of what element?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Carbon-14.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Uranium.
And the isotope.
The isotope?
Carbon-12.
Incorrect. It's uranium, but it's 235.
Oh.
Oh.
For 5 points, an unofficial informal communication network is indicated by what descriptive noun from the plant kingdom? A 2-syllable word starting with G.
David, Lakeshore.
Grassroots.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds.
I heard it through the grapevine. For 5 points, how do you spell superintendent?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Superintendant.
Incorrect.
Bangor, Anders.
Superintendent.
That is correct for 5 points. For 10 points, when he retired from Congress in 1849, his fellow Whigs offered him the governorship of the Oregon Territory. Had he accepted, it is unlikely he would now be pictured both on America's coins and paper money. Name this Republican president.
Connor, Lakeshore.
Tyler.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Chester A. Arthur.
How about Abraham Lincoln? For 10 points, he described himself as the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of the Hebrews. His given name was that of the greatest member of the tribe of Benjamin. Name this leading Jewish convert to Christianity.
Connor, Lakeshore.
Paul. That is correct for 10 points. For 15 points, what does the musical term arpeggio mean?
Anders, Bangor.
Playing every other note of the scale.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. David.
Playing do, mi, so, do, mi, so, do, yeah. How about that?
Incorrect. It's the notes on the chord played one after another instead of simultaneously. For 10 points, General Dietrich von Cholitz was commanded by Hitler to repel the enemy or leave the city a blackened field of ruins, but chose for the first time to disobey an order and secretly invited the Allies to enter the city in order to save it. This passage is about what city?
Connor, Lakeshore.
Bastogne.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Paris.
That is correct for 10 points. For 20 points, a math question. If 4 congruent squares are placed side by side to form a rectangle with an outside perimeter of 120 centimeters, what is the area of each one of the squares?
Time.
Oh, heck. 144 square centimeters.
Well,
you
isn't
have
that
it?
a hoot?
For 10 points. There are old wives' tales, just like Jim, but there's also old wives' summer. It's a period of calm, clear weather with cold nights and misty mornings, but fine, warm days that sets in over Central Europe towards the end of September. What is the comparable American term for warm summer autumn days?
Anna, Lakeshore.
Indian summer.
That is correct for 10 points. For 10 points,
Wasn't that a hoot?
in All the President's Men, whose personal source was the mysterious Deep Throat?
Connor, Lakeshore.
Woodward.
That is correct for 10 points. A math question for 10 points. If the average price of $24 is given as an index number of 100, what is the index number given to $18?
David, Lakeshore.
75.
That is correct for 10 points. For 20 points, what calendar had months named Vandemar, Brumar, and Thermidor?
Anna, Lakeshore.
The Nordic calendar.
Incorrect.
Bangor. Anders.
The Roman calendar.
Incorrect. It was the French Revolutionary calendar. For 5 points, above what so-called line will you not find any trees on a mountain?
Connor, Lakeshore.
The red line.
Incorrect.
Bangor. 5
The
seconds.
subway in Chicago.
Zeppelin.
The top line.
Incorrect. It was the name of a singer, Timberline. For 15 points, 4 states actually have an official state beverage. Florida has orange juice, Ohio has tomato juice, and New York has milk. What state has cranberry juice as its official beverage?
Connor, Lakeshore.
Oregon.
Incorrect. Good guess.
Bangor. 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Mississippi.
That'd be jumbo. Massachusetts. For 10 points, it became a commercial and transportation hub because it was where the Erie Canal crossed over the Genesee River. Name this city in New York that is the corporate headquarters for Bausch & Lomb, as well as the location of the Eastman School of Music.
Connor, Lakeshore.
Is it Buffalo?
Incorrect.
Bangor. 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Albany.
Rochester. For 5 points, the Caribbean Indians used to smoke meat and called it boucan. Pirates copied the practice and got a nickname. What's the word?
Zeppelin. Bangor.
Barbecue.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore. 5 seconds. David.
Jerky.
How about Buccaneer? From math question for 10 points. What is the least common multiple of 4 and 18?
Zane, Lakeshore.
4-6.
That is correct for 10 points.
Next question, final question of the second half.
For 10 points, the man who had been given one talent in the biblical story said, I was afraid. And then what did he do with his one talent?
He buried
Brittany,
it.
Bangor.
He buried it.
That is correct for 10 points.
And on a high note there. That'll wrap up the today's academic challenge match. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Car because I said Tyler instead of Lincoln. I'm gonna hear that one tomorrow. Oh, Lincoln.
You know what the hardest thing is about smoking meat?
No one else
Keeping
is
it lit.
answering.
Keep it alive. Yeah. Probably. Unless you make a dress out of it.
I was like, Woodward, Bernstein. I have a 50% chance. So I'm like, what's the name Woodward?
Sounds like Woodard.
Woodward sounds like Woodard. Why are you doing that? That's totally why I chose it.
What's it? What's it? If you had four, all right, this four squares question.
Brittany, what does sacrilegious mean?
I don't understand how four congruent squares
I don't know
are
how.
rectangles.
Like this.
They're in the movie, all the
Oh, I
presidents.
thought it meant like the squares are in the
I
square.
don't know.
Eat it.
So,
What
what's that? The length is equal to 4W. So, 120.
Aha.
6W.
Brody worships a worm.
Oh,
Square, right? But his answer was 400 square, right? I thought it said 100 square.
That's a stamp. Andrew, you had me freaking out.
So what you
had me
waffle
freaking
to eat a
out.
waffle?
All right, ladies and germs, let's wrap this up, shall we? Here we go.
Stay classy, San Francisco.
We are back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winner and to thank our sponsors and the winners of this match by a score of 195-70. The team from Lakeshore High School. How did I sound for Lakeshore? And we thank you one and all for joining us
Good job,
on today's Academic Challenge, brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Waterville Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. And we hope you'll join us again next time as St. Joe and Berrien Springs hook up in the semifinals on Academic Challenge. And Lakeshore, you're up against Coloma next week, so you got that going for you.
Springs.
My God.
Thank you.